my gosh, Oksana Academy. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Millennial Mac. I am here with the wonderful Oksana Academy, and I am super excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming here. I appreciate that. So for those that do not know, her husband, Daniel, the rapper, the one that I did kicked out of church for rapping, yes, and the sit down, his channel also, I have been on, we collab, we black creatives, amen. But this is, Daniel is actually married to Oksana. And now Oksana, I feel like, honestly, like Daniel's the face, but Oksana is the brains, the mastermind behind the shit down, right? Right.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, Oksana, I'm gonna just say, I do this for everybody to come on the show. Oksana, how did you come to know Jesus?
That's an interesting question for me. Because like I was raised in church, and like you hear that story a lot. Like, I was raised in the church.
Okay, we got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
So next question. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding. Continue. Please go.
Oh boy. Yeah. So like I was raised in the church, but I was actually raised Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh snap! Wow, enough. Really? Okay.
So it was a very religious upbringing. Yeah. I'll just put it that way. So as I got older, I ended up being, I guess, the rebellious one, because I was like, a lot of what I'm reading in these scriptures and a lot of what I'm saying, they really would, it's not really matching up. So, I kind of got to a space where I stepped away for a little bit to kind of, I guess, live my life. I was young, so I was just like, YOLO. I'm not with this.
I totally get it. Yeah.
And made a bunch of dumb decisions. And after a lot of poor choices and a horrible breakup and a whole lot of different things that were going on, I found myself in a very low place. And that scripture that says, teach your child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it.
That's right.
So a lot of what I studied when I was younger kind of gave me a place to turn back to. So I took some time to pray and to really see God for myself at that point in my life.
That's awesome.
And the phrase that I normally use is that you don't become passionate about something until it becomes personal. So that was the moment in my life that it became personal for me, was when I actually got to a place where I realized doing it my way does not work, and I need God.
Yeah. That's so powerful. When you were between a rock and a hard place. But one thing that I like, I wouldn't say I like about being at the bottom, but being at the bottom, the only place that you can look up to is God at the end of the day. So that's awesome. That's powerful. Sometimes that breakup is what you need to get your life right with God. Amen. So for those that do not follow Oksana on her social media platforms, very outspoken. I love the stuff that she posts, because it's like, she don't play with the stuff she posts, but it's so real. But it really is real. Like, and you're like very entrepreneurial. So like, I know you do a lot. Kind of give them like a brief overview. Like, what exactly do you do?
Well, I kind of put everything under an umbrella. So I call myself a legacy coach, because I realized that all the different gifts and skills that I have are geared towards developing leaders and entrepreneurs. So, on one end, I have the mentorship aspect of what I do. So I have a program called Women of Impact, which I started a couple years ago. And at first it was just like, small private group things. I didn't really want to like be out there too much, because that was my issue that I had to break past, was actually putting myself out there. But now it's developing into like an actual like coaching program. And that's been like really great to see how God has been developing that, and how he gave me all the different workshops and sessions and stuff like that. So that's been really cool. And then the second aspect of it is what I do with my husband, Daniel. So we have the multimedia company, Academy Media, plug.
Everything will be in the description box below, y'all. So,
but we do a little bit of everything, honestly. Like, we do branding, website design, photography, videography, and that's kind of like where the sit down was birthed out of too, was, because we were able to do videography. So everything is powered by Academy Media.
No, that's bomb. They got a whole like studio production, like, and I'm like, I may not have all the stuff y'all got, okay, but I know what the little that God has given me.
Okay, and you working it.
I'm a work it, and it's gonna multiply. Okay, all right. No, but I wanted to know. So not everybody knows what the sit down is. So kind of just tell them what is the sit down.
So So the sit down is it's a talk show. It's a platform that is really focused on getting people back to the art of real conversation. It's what I love about it personally, that it's not scripted. It's not, like pre-planned. It's actually just sitting down and having a genuine conversation.
Right.
And I'm the person behind the camera, so
Right.
I get to
the brains. Remember what I say, y'all? The brains.
I get to actually like meet all these great people and like capture all these nuggets and the wisdom that they pour out from their experiences, and it's really cool to just sit there and absorb all of that
right
through that platform.
How long have you guys been doing the sit down for now?
A little over a year now.
A little over a year? Wow.
Yeah.
Really? I feel like it's been so long.
No.
Wow. I mean, you guys get really great traction, and you
Thank
guys
you.
have had a lot of great people come on your show. I think I saw a guy named Millennial Mac on your channel one time.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And
I
was like, yo, who is that guy? Like, oh my
One of my
gosh,
absolute
he's so
favorites.
funny.
So
and
entertaining.
Like, oh my gosh.
Love her.
Anyway, okay. But yeah, no, so you're a legacy coach. Now, that's very broad. So with legacy coaching, what does all of that entail? Because from my understanding, I know that we actually work in the same industry.
Yeah.
My competition.
So,
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. So tell them, what do you do? What do you do?
that takes me to the third part of the umbrella that I was talking about.
Okay.
So
types of
legacy
umbrellas.
coach, so I help with the mentorship, help with the branding and everything. But another aspect of it is helping people to establish their legacy, and that's through, we call them the 6 pillars. So we kind of give people like a free financial plan to start off, and we go through like the different financial pillars. So the first one is, cash flow. Then we have debt management, your emergency fund, proper protection, which is where like insurance and stuff like that comes in. And then building your wealth and preserving your wealth. So, teaching people about how to outpace inflation, that kind of thing, making sure they have a will and a, trust established, those kind of services. So basically anything legacy related and, making sure
then
that,
with your money. See, the Bible says
here
a
we
good man leaves an inheritance
Yeah, sure.
for his children's children.
That's right.
There are so many people that are financially illiterate. You know what I mean? And I honestly am blessed enough to kind of have an idea. I mean, I have read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. I read that book. I gave it to somebody, never got it back. But honestly, like, I think that's so great what you do, and especially being a Black person. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we just gonna be real, y'all. We don't really be the best with our finances, okay? We just gonna keep it real.
We are working to change that.
But we changing that
in
though.
our own lanes.
We changing that
And
here.
that's awesome.
Exactly. So
I
I
salute
work.
you, too.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I work in the financial industry as well, financial services, providing life insurance, generational wealth. I do the same exact thing. Now I don't do all the whole debt management, emergency fund. I don't teach all that because I ain't got a license degree like you got. But I got a brain right here that got a license in the 215 license to sell life insurance, health insurance. But I think it's so important, especially just in the community, specifically the Black community.
Yes.
Life insurance is so important. Like, I cannot stress this enough. And like, sometimes I just got to be really real with people and be blunt. I'm like, look, like, when you pass, you have 5 kids, Miss Jones. You got 5 kids. You the baby daddy don't help with none of that. And you're doing this all by yourself. If something happens to you,
Exactly.
what is going to happen to your children? And then I keep it real with them. I have to keep it real, especially like with our people. We just got to keep it real. I'm like, your mother grew up in this area in poverty.
Yep.
You grew up in poverty. And if you end up dying, what do you think your kids are going to be? So there's generational poverty in your family when there should be generational wealth. And that's where it comes from, with having the proper insurance in place. But unfortunately, my people perish
For the lack.
of knowledge
Come on.
and insurance. Like, you know what I mean? And I think, sorry, I did not add or take away to this word, but I'm just saying, okay? Like,
That was included.
But like, seriously, like, it's so important for you to have everything in order.
Definitely.
Like, at all times. And I tell our people, I'm like, I promise you, life insurance is not only for white people. Like, and but you gotta keep it real sometimes. Like, well, I need to get that. My mom got some insurance on me. Okay, no. But do you have insurance on yourself?
And is it the adequate amount of insurance? That's another thing too.
Oh wow, come
That's
on.
another
Tell me
thing,
about that. Tell me about that.
Because insurance. First of all, let's bring it back a little bit.
Bring it back.
Insurance is not just about when you die.
Right. Okay.
Let's start
right.
with that.
There you
Right.
go.
You can use it to supplement retirement. with the right policy, you can actually have coverage in case you become terminally ill or chronically ill. Like there's living benefits that you can attach to your policy. So there's many other things that you can use life insurance for. It's not just, and like even if you have cash value life insurance, we'll just put it out there, right? You can use that as a savings account with a higher interest rate. To save your money instead of putting your money in a bank where you're only getting like less than 1%, interest on your money.
That's so good.
So there's so many different things you can do with insurance, and I think people don't really know that. There's so many misconceptions surrounding life insurance and what it's for. So I think once we start tackling that, it'll be easier for people to be more receptive to actually learning what they can do with it. And then as far as the adequate amount of insurance, you want to know, like, okay, if I pass, is this going to be enough to cover, at least 10 years of my expenses?
There you go.
For my family. Let's start with that, because you don't want them to have to, inherit your debt and all this other stuff. Make sure that it covers the debt that you have to leave to your family, whether it's student loan debt, whatever debt that you may have. You want to make sure that if you have any money left on your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, that is enough to cover that. So you want to make sure that you're not leaving behind debt and liability to your family. That's the main thing. But instead you're leaving, a vehicle that can help to produce more wealth for your family.
Perfectly stated. I mean, honestly, like that really is what it is. It's so funny because me, like, I'm 25, but I got into the industry when I was 23. And what's so crazy is that I actually did not know what life insurance was until I was 23 years old. I was like, what is this? What is life insurance? What is that? Why do I need to insure my life? What's that? So then when I learned about it, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is incredible. Like that sounds so stupid. People are like, wow, really? This has been around for years and you're just not figuring it out. Yes, I was, but I didn't know. Exactly. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about, my kids. I don't got no kids. So like, you know what I mean? But seriously, like, when I learned about it, I was like, wow, that's so great. And I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, I don't know if I can talk about death all day. That's so morbid. But the thing is that death is a reality. And that's what I've come to realize, especially on the show. I have seen people on my job. I say hi to them, nice to meet you. The week later, end up dying. And I'm like, hey, what happened to Miss Brown? Oh, she ended up dying. She had a car accident.
Wow.
What?
That's
like,
crazy.
And it made me realize how important life insurance really is. I remember the very first client I had that died. And I was trying so hard not to cry. But the thing is, I was like, I helped her. Yeah. Because I got a chance to meet her whole entire family. They were extremely grateful. They were like, thank you so much for helping my well, she was a great. She was fruitful and multiplied, and God blessed her seed. Wow, she had so much legacy.
That's a blessing.
Yes, and had a bomb funeral. And I was like, I did that. But, no, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But like, no, but seriously though, just like, it's so important for you to have everything in place, because that generational wealth is what we need to thrive. You know what I mean? Like, you should never, ever, ever, like, and I'm real with this. If you guys follow me on my Facebook, you guys follow me, on my Instagram as well, I'm so big on cutting out the car wash, the fish fry.
Come on, especially the fish fry.
And the bucket.
And
I'm
the
so
GoFundMe.
serious. And, and the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
We need to get our house in order. You need to get it in order for real, because, the burden that comes with that, like, you not having insurance, your family has to mourn twice. We mourn because grandma died. And then now we have to mourn again because how are we going to bury grandma? And that should never, ever be something to like put in place. Like, you're like, man, like how, you know what I mean? Like, you should never be put in that position. Someone dying alone that you love is already hard enough.
Exactly. And it's funny you said that, because I was thinking about, I was watching the Medea funeral movie the other day.
Ooh, child.
And Uncle Joe was like, now I see why people be crying. It's $9,000.
Yeah. Right.
I'm so done.
No, but it's so true. And the thing is that people don't know is that life insurance, what's weird about it is that it's guaranteed. Like, it has to pay out, you know? I always tell people that it's backed by oh goodness, oh Jesus.
It's backed by
the FDIC. The Yeah, that's what I thought. There you go. Which stands for the federal cum. So, so basically what that means is that they have to pay out. And when it comes to burials as well and funerals, the inflation rates will be getting higher every 5 years. Yeah. So it's funny when I talk to certain clients, I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, do you have insurance? Is that? They're like, oh no, I don't need that insurance because I know burials now are only $5,000. I was like, miss, have you looked at the current rate right now? The average, if you want like an average like kind of funeral, that's like 10,000. Right then and there, if that. But then you got how many people in your family? 250?
Yeah.
And then you want everybody to be invited to grandma's funeral? Okay, then you need to have a little bit more insurance. Like,
it's costly.
It is costly.
It's costly.
It is very costly. And that's why I'm like, look, like to my older people, and I'm like, I tell them because I'm like, the older you get, the more expensive it will become.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then if you get sick...
And people don't realize that. They think, oh, well, I'm not going to die anytime soon, so I can just, wait, put that off for a little bit. But no, like, literally, the older you get, the more of a liability you become to the insurance companies. And so now they're checking, okay, what's your health looking like? Do you have any, history that could give us some concern that maybe we shouldn't, want to cover you? Like, you have to do it as soon as possible while you're low risk. Because like he said, the longer that you wait, the more it's going to end up costing you out of pocket on a monthly basis.
Exactly. And when people use that objection, because at the end of the day, it is an objection. Like, oh, no, I know I'm good. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. And I tell them, like, look, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that way.
Exactly. But the wise person prepares for the future.
Very wise person, because you never know.
Yep.
Like, you never know, and you always want to make sure that you have everything in order, everything in place. I got my first policy when I sound like an old person. I got my first policy when I was 23 years old. Oh my God. But, like, yeah, you know what I mean? And, like, I'm so glad that I have a really great policy because I know about it, and I'm young, and I'm healthy, thank God. So it's like I'm getting a big old policy for cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know that. And then there's certain policies and plans where you can actually receive your money back. Look at that. Like, it's like a little savings account for you. And on top of that, you being covered. And a lot of people don't know. But anyways, so y'all, we can go all day about life insurance. Moral of the story, you can message Oksana or myself for life insurance. But since it's about Oksana, we're talking about Oksana. Life insurance. So anyways, okay, so legacy building. We definitely hit the life insurance part big time. Yes. So what else? Now, from my understanding, I know you just had another child, right?
Child, look.
Go ahead, come on. You married.
I've been pregnant for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I spent like most of my marriage being pregnant or like being pregnant.
Amen. Be fruitful and multiply. See, that's the thing that I tell people about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, so it's been crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? The first commandment God said after he made Adam and Eve was be fruitful and multiply. It is in our nature to multiply. But that's just my opinion. Okay? We didn't come here for that. But that's cool. Awesome. Great. So you have beautiful children at that. And I mean, you didn't even tell them what you sing as well.
I do sing.
So Oksana is an amazing singer. She has such a beautiful voice. I've heard her voice before at church. I've heard you sing before at church. I've heard you sing in your songs, and you have such a great voice. Now, what are you doing with your music? Are you doing anything, or are you like hiding? It's not the season no more. Christian folk. Oh, that was the season back then. God is.
We're not doing all that.
What's going on?
It's funny you say that because I had a conversation with my dad today, right?
Okay.
And my dad just randomly sprung it on me. He's like, "Hey, like I wrote a song and I released it on YouTube." And I was like, wow. I'm so proud of you, Dad. But, after talking to him for a while, I was just like, how many songs am I sitting on that I haven't done anything with because I feel like I don't have the help I need or the production quality that I need or whatever. So I took a leap of faith and I posted on Facebook, hey, I could use a producer or, a pianist to help me with an accompaniment for this song that I wrote that I've been sitting on. Yeah. And I got somebody to work with me.
What? Really?
So
just like that?
I will be working on some new music. Yeah.
Oh, snap. When should we be expecting this music?
I'm not going to put a date yet. I'm just going to say
soon.
Soon.
Okay. That was good. Good word. Soon. You know, it's. I love when people do stuff like that. Like, oh my gosh, you made me. I'm so sorry. This is kind of off topic, but like, you made me think about when I used to get my hair cut by this one barber, and like, if we didn't show up for a while and we went to like other barbers and stuff like that, and we had nowhere else to go, we would go back to that barber. So they'd be like, "Oh, where y'all been? Where y'all been?" We're like, "Around. We've been around, around." Cause like they don't need to know, like you know what I mean. Like they don't need to know.
Funny.
Oh, what are you eating? Leftovers. Oh, what's that? Leftovers. It's none of your business. Sorry, you just made me. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, anyway. So yes, music is coming out soon. You are a beautiful wife to your husband. Daniel is ridiculously funny, so creative. And it's funny because it's like, he's like the and then it's like, you're all like, But you still have a great personality as well. And it's like, you know, the sit down, like, it's definitely growing a lot. Now, I believe you guys have something coming up on like around Easter time. There's something that might be coming up.
Yeah, there will be a spoof coming up, so you guys can stay tuned for that on the Sit Down's page. The Sit Down with Daniel Tadamy on Facebook. You can check it out there. Find the YouTube link, Instagram, everything on there.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you want to tell them about what you do or anything? Go ahead.
Another way that I help entrepreneurs and leaders is I make self-help books. So I have a lot of guidebooks that I've written, 3 right now that I have out. And you can check those out at my website as well. So
what's your website?
OksanaTadamy.com.
By the way, that's a beautiful Oksana.
Thank you.
That sounds it sounds Hawaiian to me. But like,
actually,
what is it? She's like, no, it's not. I'm gonna cut you
off
real quick.
Actually, it's Ukrainian and Russian.
What?
So, yeah. Funny story how that happened, right?
Yeah.
My parents were old school. They didn't want to actually get an ultrasound and see what I was gonna be. So my parents were absolutely convinced that I was gonna be a boy. Thank God I wasn't, because the name I was gonna get was Abraham.
Ooh.
So I was like, nah. So when I came out, and they were just like, oh snap, we don't have any girl names picked out. So they liked the Russian skater Oksana Bayul, and they named me after her. So Oksana.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Fontaine, because it's my maiden name. So Oksana Fontaine was my name. Yeah.
Wow, that's so unique. Now you are Caribbean, right?
My mom is from Jamaica, and then my dad is from Commonwealth of Dominica. So I have a nice little mix up in there.
So and that's why. So this ain't a track. What you got on your head?
No, boo, this is real.
Okay, 22 inches. It's all real. Come from the root of your head. I know that's right.
100%.
That's awesome. Well, Oksana, thank you so much for coming on the Millennial Mac channel. Everything, all her platforms, all of her social media links and websites will be listed below in the description box. And guys, we thank you so much once again for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Your husband right over there, okay? But thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.